Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and Happy New Year. This is the continuation of Mindful Moments with Hands to Heart Center, and I'm glad that you're here to explore some mindfulness in the year to come. In these sessions, nothing is required of you, no previous experience, no expectation, just that you're interested in exploring some time and awareness and bringing yourself some kindness. I'll always provide full instructions for what we're doing in each session. And as you might know, Hands to Heart Center is a service organization that provides healing benefits of yoga, mindfulness, and those practices to communities in Greater Boston. And very much as we move into 2020, these offerings are online because of the pandemic. And so you can keep up with Hands to Heart Center on the webpage or the YouTube channel. And so as we get started today, as always, I welcome you to find a posture that you can be in for the next several moments. Whatever you choose, be it standing, sitting, or lying down, you'll want to prioritize a symmetrical position where you have a straight and strong spine. And with that straight and strong spine, the front of your body and the lower parts of your body can just really ease into some relaxation. So if you're seated, this might look like both feet are touching the floor and the soles are making contact. And then your buttocks, glutes, thighs, lower back area might be supported by a chair, a cushion, a stool, something like that. And the spine extends upward from the tailbone to the crown of the head while the shoulders relax. There's space between the shoulders and ears. And if you're standing or lying down, very similar instruction that, if possible, the soles of the feet are touching the floor in a symmetrical way so that the weight is balanced. If you're lying down, you'll notice a lot of your back and your head are on the floor as well. And any part of your body that's touching another surface, really think of this touch point as a support, an area where you can ease back into. It can be helpful to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and either out through the nose or mouth, your choice. And breathing is both voluntary and involuntary. Your body would do it even if you didn't ask it to take a breath. But in this case, if we're asking the body to take a deep breath, it really helps speak to the nervous system. So it's one of the few ways that we can connect with other involuntary systems in our body. So deep breaths can help us settle the body, settle the mind, or even just create a little bit more of awareness of how we feel about the body and about the mind. And if you'd like to, close the eyes, gaze downwards, maybe have a very light gaze, like 10%, if closing the eyes doesn't feel appropriate for you. And today we will do a body-centered meditation. So I'll give several instructions throughout to guide you through this. And the first being just to notice when you heard that we were going to do a body-centered meditation, what that felt like to you. And that can be anything. That could be like, a few moments just to relax in my body. Nice. Or it could have been like, I don't want to spend time thinking about how my body feels. It doesn't feel so great. It could have been completely neutral, lack of response, or confusion, not sure what that means. I don't know what I'm in for here. So any of those responses, totally fine. And just the important thing is to notice what your response was. And so what we'll be doing is exploring how the body feels, what sensations we have in the body. So there's a few ways to do this. And the first is just tuning in, giving a quick scan to notice what might be there. So starting with those touch points, those areas of your body that are connected to another surface, noticing the feeling, maybe the hardness of connecting to another surface. You could explore how the air feels on your skin. Are you able to detect what temperature that is? How your clothing feels on your body. For me, I always start with my arms for this. Can I sense on my arms what the fabric feels like? So we're just turning up our awareness, shifting our attention to what the physical body feels like. And everything we do through this practice today will we'll turn our attention towards the body. And as you start paying attention, anything else going into the body, how do the hands feel? The moisture on the hands or lack of moisture. Similarly, you can check eyes and mouth for moisture. You might think of your level of hunger or thirst at this point. Notice any parts of the body that are obviously comfortable, at ease, relaxed, and any that are obviously in a little bit of discomfort, some tightness, some pain. If you'd like, you can just scan down from head downwards, noticing what is there as I move through this, like you're moving down an elevator from head down to your feet. As you move through each floor of your body, is there anything that you can just simply observe? And from here, the instruction is to notice any sounds around you, nearby sounds or faraway sounds. And as you notice that sound, see if you can tap into any reactions, any feelings in the body. So you might start with the sound of my voice, any sounds coming from your computer, the technology you're using. Perhaps you can hear the hum or buzz of lights, of appliances. You might hear other people in your home, sounds from outside. As you notice these sounds, is there any reaction in the body? And to give you an example, there's been an alarm going off in my apartment building for nearly 5 weeks, actually. And when I hear this alarm, which I hear all the time, I've started to see how does my body feel when I hear this alarm? And I can identify, my lips are squeezing together a little bit. I'm a little clenched around my belly button. Sometimes I have to remind myself to take a deep breath, because this is constant like beeping sound that I feel like my body clenches up a little bit. So I've started to notice in my body, like, where are these specific places that respond when I hear this sound? So that's an example of the kind of thing you're looking for. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. It doesn't matter what you find, it's just simply the act of observing and paying attention. Sounds around you, and then how does the body respond? What do you find? And as you find yourself absorbed in thought, which will definitely happen as you sit in quietness, if you notice that you're thinking, and when you notice that, see if you can again turn your attention to the body. How does the body feel about whatever you're thinking? So for an example, if I find myself lost in a thought, thinking about a friend, I might realize, oh, I'm smiling a little bit, or my heart feels a little bit warm. And so I've moved from like this intellectual activity of thinking, turn the attention back into the physical body and notice, what's going on here. So again, what you find, the content of what you find is not important. It's more the observing, identification, building an awareness. So as you notice a sound, as you notice thinking, what does that feel like in the body? And sometimes there are not specific feelings, or even a numbness, or something that feels completely neutral. And that's fine as well. It's the noticing. So you're noticing, oh, my body feels pretty neutral, or my body feels stable, or my body feels numb. And as you spend time noticing how the body feels, you might find yourself caught in an emotion or a feeling pattern. And in this case, you can do exactly the same thing. For example, if you're feeling sadness, what does sadness feel like in the body? A little bit of heaviness in the chest, kind of hanging feeling. There's some moisture in the mouth and eyes. Is there a little bit of warmth in the throat, kind of a burning? Explore what that feeling feels like to you. So always returning to the body, whether it's a sound, a thought, an emotion. What's the residue? What is the feeling of like that inside your physical space? Always coming back to the body, sensations inside. And as we spend about another moment together in silence, see if anything that you find in the body, everything that you find in the body, can be met with this sense of kindness. So in these last moments, you're giving yourself a bit of an appreciation shower, just wrapping yourself in even the smallest amount of gratitude for spending some time settling the mind, even if it doesn't feel settled. The idea of taking some time in stillness is settling. And spending some time aware and tuning into yourself. Just a moment of appreciation for that. When you feel complete, take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. If you've closed the eyes, feel free to open them and start to shift back. Thank you for spending some time with me in Hands to Heart Center, especially at the beginning of a new year. I'm wishing you well and thank you for your continued interest in some mindful practices and Hands to Heart Center. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Be well.